Okay, welcome back to the channel. Hi, my name is Mike. I have here is a portable pocket hole jig. This one here is from Harbor Freight. I'm even messing around with it today. Uh, I bolted it onto this piece of plywood here with some scraps and something I was doing, and it makes it easier for me to kind of maintain when I'm actually working on something. So, and then by using maybe a clamp or something like that, I can just clamp it down on the table here, you know, kind of keep it a little bit more sturdier. And then that way I can get my piece in there to, to drill holes in it. These are really nice to have if you're into woodworking for sure. So you need to look it up if you like doing small end tables, even small cabinets or basically anything into a square. You can use them to make beehives, like bee boxes. I've never used them, but I know they have. Just a lot of different things. I think it's a very handy tool to have. I mean, if you have a wood shop, it should be one of your number one tools. This one here it's called a Drill Master, and like I said, you'll find them. It's going to go on sale at Harbor Freight here pretty soon, anyways. I mean, if you keep watching it, they'll go on sale. And then it also gives you this bit, this drill bit right here. Now this drill bit's not just like a regular drill bit. It actually has a little centerpiece in it. So it's going to start drilling up here first before it comes down. And then also they add a collar. That's what I call them, a collar. And then that collar has an Allen wrench, so it's adjustable up and down. So that adjustment is for your drill bit depth, how far you're going to put it down in. That really determines on what your project is. You know, for setting this, has a little Allen wrench that comes with it. It also did come with a about three bags of these little screws. Now, the thing about these screws is you really want to use what they recommend because on these screws are made a little bit different. On the bottom end of these screws, above my finger here, they're flat. Okay, and then when you drill down through these, which I'll have some here drilled, it's flat right here. So you kind of want to use the same screw that they recommend because that's the way it's going to hold in. Now, if you happen to use like a drywall screw or like this is just a carpenter type screw, you might not want to use those. The reason why is because it bevels on the end like a little cone on the bottom here. And what these are for is to countersink, to actually bring them below the level of the wood. And if you put them down in there, sometimes you'll actually pull it apart. You'll split it because you're pulling it down through. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're drilling on top of a piece of wood and then you countersink it and it just stops. The way the angle and the design, I mean not the design, but the way the wood is, it has a tendency to go down through and pull and crack it. So you really like to use I recommend you to use the screws that they have. You can buy them anywhere. Lowe's have them, Home Depot has them. If you don't have to look up where they sell these at Home Depot, you can go in the back where they have the screws and stuff, and they sell them. Cabinet screws, basically, I think what they call them. This one's a couple years old, so it's a little bit older model, but they still make the exact same thing. I bought it on sale. You know, I waited until it went down. I think it ran around $50. I think I got it cheaper than that. I think it's like 38 or 36 or something like that. It wasn't too expensive. But I had to have one for some of the things I was doing. Because, you keep, every year when you buy tools, you increase your things that you do in your shop. You just keep making more and more because there's so many different things to do. And by adding a little bit of tools here and there, which, I don't know, I'm kind of stuck with a lot of odds and ends things, which that comes in handy because there's sometimes where that little tool that you bought or drill or something like that, or a little bit, adds to the shop to make your job a lot easier, especially sanders. I'm a big fan on lots of sanders. I think you have all kind of sanders. That keeps you from using by your hand, you know what I mean? So, and you can get the job done a lot better if you have a lot of sanders, different type palm sanders, I have a 12-inch disc sander. I even have a sand disc for my drill. But basically, what this is, you just kind of get whatever type of wood you're going to put in. I'm just going to use this as a demonstration, and then of course I'll have to set this And once you set them, if you're going to do a, a whole job or something, then you can go ahead. There's actually a nut in behind here where you can take a wrench and tighten that up like this, and then it'll stop this from moving in and out. You definitely want to do that if you got a big project and you're going to do a lot of this. Okay, it clamps down like that, nice and tight. It's got a rubber piece in the back. You can hear it. All right, let me show you a little bit about it. Now, this one here, to me, there is a high and low, if you want to see it. I call it a high and low. This would be a low shot. Let me take this bit back out. If I put it down through here, this would be a low, okay, because it's in more of an angle. This is more of an angle going straight up and down, so to me it's a high cut. So really depends on what size board you're using. So if you're using a big board, you probably, if it's long and it's real skinny like this, you probably want to use the high. But if you're just going to, it'll actually put the screw in a lot deeper and use a lot longer screws when it's up here on the top. I normally just use the low like this. Now, it does also engage back here where you can move these. And you can move them out so you have a wider pattern for their screws, or you can move them in. You can move them all the way in like this. I don't know if you would want them like that, but you could. But there's a different setting. Now, I normally set mine where I don't, because there's a little gauge on top. I just set them on a 1 inch. I normally set them like that, so it's fine with me. And then this is just an old piece of scrap wood here. I don't think there's anything stuck in it. I'm not going to tear up my bit. Let's go this way. It's a real simple thing to use. Okay, I'm going to turn it this way, and let me put a clamp on here. And you can see the drill bit's going to come out down here. Now the thing about this is, if you don't pay a lot of attention to it, when you put your next board in it, it can actually, this sawdust down here can hold it up on it, and then when you go put your screws in, it'll actually pull up on it, and you don't want to do that. Okay, let me see. Turn this around, I guess. I think this is the longest screws they have. I have them longer than that, but I think that's all longer they have. Now I usually hold down on it. Sometimes I'll even put a clamp on my wood just to get it started. Okay, there you go. Now you can, after you get it down in there far enough, you can sand that off, with a palm sander or something, sand this off. But it kind of hides the screws from the other side, and it's in there pretty good. I could put more. I could put them on the end here. You know what I mean? I could put like 2 here, put 2 down here, and that would give it more screws. Or of course, I could have done it back here too. But it really depends on what you're making. If you're just doing some little things, like I like getting into some small things that I can put screws in it real quick and kind of hide them behind it. Or, if you're going to build cabinets, you're hiding them anyways. So it doesn't make any difference. But they gave me a couple package of different types of screws, so we'll be able to use those. Actually, I've had them in the box in there for a while. I did buy some here somewhere. Yeah, right here. They're called cabinet screws. And these take a different type of bit. They don't take regular screwdriver. It's like a star bit these take. I think what the heck they call those. Yeah, it's like a star bit, but that's what they are. They're just like cabinet screws. This is one of the boxes I bought up. I think it was Home Depot I bought this one. But that's all they are. This is 1.5 inches here, so I don't know what them are. It's probably about 1.5 inches too. About it. So if you're looking for a portable pocket jig, look at Harbor Freight and see what they got. They do have some nice tools. I mean, I can't always say they do, but There's some tools I wouldn't buy from Harbor Freight, and there's some I don't mind buying. Depends on what way I'm going to use them. You know, if you're going to use them a lot, you might want to look for something else. But this in here, I can't beat this, and I've used it a good bit, and had some really good cuts out of it, so it came out really nice. I mean, but like I said, I put it on that board, like I said, just to kind of, help me hold it down. But you can do that too if you want to hold it down on that, or put it on, like if you got a bench. I didn't want to stick it on a bench; it just take up more room. I'd rather just take it and put it somewhere. So, okay, that's about it on a portable jig here, whole jig. So if you guys are interested in something like that, check out Harbor Freight, see what they got. And like I said, sales will be coming soon, so watch them. All right, if you got any comments, leave them down below, and thanks for watching.